Welcome to Smashville. This is PK Subban.
I'm Dan Hamhuis.
This is Craig Smith.
This is Mike Fisher.
But you need to dig in right now, every guy.
Everybody loves their soldiers until they come home and stop fighting.
Enough is enough.
They need me to bleed, and I'll bleed for my team.
Start playing with some jam in here. Let's go.
This is Ryan Johansson. Welcome to Smashville.
This is Philip Forsberg.
I'm Victor Arvidsson.
I'm Ryan Ellis.
I'm Matthias Ekholm.
I'm Beckerin, and you're listening to the Renegades of Puck with Crazy Charlie.
Crazy Charlie puts words in my mouth. You can't trust that guy.
If you can't get some fire, some passion, some energy, and figure out how in the hell to talk about this magnificent sport of hockey that has taken over the city of Nashville, then why are you on the radio? You don't deserve it, and you should do the honorable thing and turn your mic in. You're making a damn fool of yourself.
This is my declaration. I'm coming after every single one of you. The lazy, the tired, the boring voices out there. Your time is up. I'm Crazy Charlie Saunier.
I'm Pete Weber of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Find a way, boys. No more half-stepping.
Now, here's your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Before we get started with our half-step and hockey coverage, first let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show and what you're good and educated about the show. Well, that's when you click on that merchandise tab. Take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt and all the gimmicks you come to know and love and expect from the Renegades of Puck. Socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, makes no difference to us. We've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this independent and unaffiliated hockey operation, so here's how you can jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. You can find us on Instagram and Threads. You can also find us on Facebook and X, so please, whichever social media platform it is that you prefer, it doesn't cost you a thing and it doesn't take you but a second, but it sure does go a long way to helping the operation known as the Renegades of Puck. You can make a donation to the show or pay off our virtual swear bill at any time by using our virtual tip jar that's right over there on the corner of the desk. Scan that QR code that's on that screen right there, or you just go to Venmo and search out Renegades of Puck. Every single penny of every dollar that's donated goes directly to assisting the Renegades of Puck in operations, and we are currently under construction on a brand new set that is happening right behind where the camera is. I may even give you guys a tour here in the coming days of what's going on behind the scenes. It is a mess. Doing a good job of disguising it here on the show, but it's a mess. We sure could use your support in continuing the project, continuing the operations as we are buying construction materials for our brand new set here in about 10 days' time. Stick taps, love, and respect to each of you out there. Now, listen, I know it's time for no half-step and hockey coverage, so let me get to the goods. I'm excited to talk about it. It's time for operation number 955. That's right, time for show number 955, and at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 7th place in the Central Division after 44 games skated this season. They have a record of 15, 22, and 7, 37 points. Well, has them very far outside the playoff picture. On home ice, though, the Predators have reached double digits in wins with 10 now, 8 losses, 3 overtime losses. I have 109 goals scored this season. They've given up 137, a goal differential of minus 28. Now, the Predators' next opponent is the Minnesota Wild, so that game will take place at Bridgestone Arena. Let's talk about the Preds next week ahead. Then we'll update you on the Central Division, talk about the game itself, the matchup, and everything else going on in the world of Smashville. So for the Predators, after this game against the Minnesota Wild, they'll close out the homestand against the San Jose Sharks on Tuesday, and then immediately jump on a plane. Maybe they'll even share a plane. That's just a joke. I know that they won't. Thursday, they'll be in San Jose, so a home-and-home back-to-back with the San Jose Sharks. It'll be the first time the Predators have played the Sharks this season. Then the Anaheim Ducks on the 25th. They'll also be the first time the Predators have played the Ducks this year. They'll close out the regular season series against the Vancouver Canucks on the 29th of January at Bridgestone Arena. And on the 31st of January, they'll close out the month of January in Buffalo, facing off against the Sabres. That Central Division right here. Updated standings. The Winnipeg Jets, 65 points, first place overall. The Minnesota Wild, we'll talk extensively about them in a moment, at 58 points, and are in second place. The Dallas Stars just 1 point behind at 57. The Colorado Avalanche at 55, just outside the cutoff for the automatic qualifying playoffs playoff spot, but still very much in the hunt. 48 points for St. Louis, 43 points for Utah, sees them in 6th place. The Predators are 37 points in 7th place, and the Chicago Blackhawks have 31 points and are in last place in the Central Division. For the Predators and the Minnesota Wild, this is the end of the regular season series already. It's matchup number 3. We go back to November the 30th to find matchup number 1. It took place in Minnesota. It was the Wild scoring a 3-2 victory in overtime. Saros took the loss, 25 saves on 28 shots against. O'Reilly Svechnikov scored for the Preds. Gustafsson got the win for the Wild, 25 out of 27. It was Kaprizov, Spurgeon, and Chisholm all scoring for Minnesota. The two teams would meet again on New Year's Eve in Minnesota again. The Wild would come away with the victory again, this time in regulation 5-3. Noonan got starred for the Predators, went 33 out of 38. Marchessault, O'Reilly, and Sissons with goals in the game. Gustafsson picks up his second win of the season against the Nashville Predators, going 43 out of 46. An impressive effort right there. Rossi picked up 2 goals in the game. Brodin, Chisholm, and Zuccarello also scored goals for the Minnesota Wild. So the Predators are 0-1-1 against the Minnesota Wild so far this season. 1 matchup to go. 1 of 4 points secured. They've been outscored by a total of 8-5. Updated injury report for the Predators because it is extensive and numerous. Wilsby, injured reserve. Stastny, injured reserve. Cole Smith still on injured reserve. Luke Evangelista still listed as out at this time. Now, the Minnesota Wild, they are currently in 2nd place in the Central Division. After 45 games skated, they have a record of 27-14-4, 58 points, has them 7 points shy of first place Winnipeg and 3 points ahead of Colorado to secure their automatic playoff bid in the Central Division right now in the 2-3 matchup. On home ice, the Wild have a very strong record of 16-4-3. As a matter of fact, better on the road than they are at home. They've scored 135 times this season. They've given up 127 goals. They have a goal differential of +8 in their most recent stretch of 5 completed games. We go back to January 7th, where we found a 6-4 win versus the St. Louis Blues. On the 9th of January, it was a 6-1 loss versus the Colorado Avalanche. Followed that up on the 11th of January with a 3-1 win at San Jose. The 12th of January saw a 4-1 loss at Vegas, and most recently on the 15th, a 5-3 loss versus the Edmonton Oilers. Gustafsson 31-36 taking the loss. So the Wild come to Bridgestone Arena on a 2-game losing streak, also losing 3 of their last 4. Taking a look inside the matchup and the numbers between these two teams, the Minnesota Wild at 2.96 goals per game is 18th best in the NHL, while the Predators at 2.45 is 31st, which is 1 spot better than being the worst, so it's at least 1 spot better. Goals against average 3.11 for the Predators is 21st in the league, while Minnesota giving up just 2.78 per game. That's 10th best in the NHL. Shots on goal 4 per game, 28 overall for Minnesota's 18th, 29.3 for the Predators is 11th best in the NHL. In the shots against category, Nashville's at 29.1 against, that's 23rd, 29.6 for the Minnesota Wild is 27th. When it comes to the special teams, the Predators have the advantage in both of these statistical categories. On the power play, 19.8%, 19th best power play in the league, 25 conversions, 126 opportunities for Nashville, while on the Minnesota side of things, 19.5% conversion rate is 21st in the NHL, 22 conversions, 113 opportunities. On the penalty kill, the Predators 5th best in the league, 83.1%. They've given up just 22 power play goals against on the season, while the Minnesota Wild are 29th overall in the NHL, rated kill 70.9% is their kill rate, 32 power play goals against. That is one of the places you can find the Minnesota Wild to be susceptible this season is when they are shorthanded. Philip Forsberg paces the Nashville Predators individually with 13 goals, 25 assists, and 38 total points. Marchessault catching up, though, 14 goals, 19 assists for 33 points. Yossi is 8 and 22 for 30, so 3 Predators now over 30 points on the season. Steven Stamkos, 15 goals to lead the Preds, plus 14 assists for 29 points. O'Reilly is at 13 and 13 for 26. Over on the Minnesota side of things, Kaprizov is a dominant force in this league and does not get nearly the headlines he deserves. 23 goals, 27 assists this season for 50 total points. Boldy is a very strong hockey player as well. 17 goals, 22 assists on the season for 39 points. Rossi, 2 of his goals came against the Nashville Predators this season. 17 total, 22 assists, 39 points. Matt Zuccarello, 11 goals and 21 assists for 32 points. And Eriksson Ek, 7 plus 13 for 20. Gustafsson's got 2 victories against the Nashville Predators, so no reason to think that John Hines isn't going to give him the start at Bridgestone Arena. He's got a record overall of 18-9-3, 2.58 or goals against, and a 9.14 save percentage. Juuse Saros, nice game in his last start. comes in with a record of 10, 18, and 6, 2.75 goals against average, 904 save percentage, and 4 shutouts on the season. That's got you all set for the Predators versus the Minnesota Wild at Bridgestone Arena. It's a Saturday night. It's Preds' 4th game of this homestand, and they've got an opportunity to win their 3rd game in a row. Believe me, the crowd will go wild if the Predators come out and play good against Minnesota. We got to go back and check out what happened in the last game of this homestand. I kind of let the cat out of the bag there by saying the Preds are on a win streak. You already knew what happened. Let's go back and talk about it, though. Let's do some analysis after the recap, and then we'll have a little bit of fun here before the end of the show, right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back January 16th, the year 2025, when the Nashville Predators were facing off at Bridgestone Arena versus the Chicago Blackhawks. Head coach Andrew Burnett deploys his lines and defensive pairings in the following way: Forsberg, Stamkos, and Marchessault, Nyquist, O'Reilly, Heines, Stroza, Novak, Svechkov, LaRue. Your 4th line is Jankowski, McCarron, and Sissons. Your defensive pairings are Yossi and Barron, Shea and Blankenberg, Stastny and Shen. UC Saros gets the start in net. We are 3:23 into the first period when we find our first action of the game, and it's Soderblom coming up with a save on Heines Stroza. It's the first shot on goal of the game. 3:58 now at the first period. Saros comes up with a save on Nazar at close range. 4:23 of the first period. Saros coming up with a save on Mikheyev. 7:55 of the first. Mikheyev's off the box. 2 minutes for putting the puck over the glass. Our first special team scenario sees the Predators on the power play, and they are converting pretty quickly here. Steven Stamkos with his 15th goal of the season comes off of a sharp angle one-timer to give the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead here in the first period. 8:07 now of the first, so just after the goal is scored. McCarron versus Maroon, 5 minutes each. A whole lot of holding each other off till the linesman broke things up, so not much to talk about in that scrap. 10:54 of the first period. Jones off to the box, 2 minutes for high sticking. Soderblom's going to come up with a save on Forsberg. Saros would then have to come up with a save on Nazar. Short-handed breakaway after Brady Shea loses an edge. 14:50 of the first period. It appears that Vlasic puts the puck into the net, but it is waved off immediately for goalie interference. Challenged, upheld, and Chicago would then get a 2-minute delay of game penalty for a failed challenge. The Chicago Blackhawks would not give up a single shot on goal during their penalty killing. Matter of fact, would be quite strong out there on the effort. 18:03 of the first period. Saros comes up with a save on Hall, and we go to the end of the first period with the Predators leading 1-0, but Chicago is shooting Nashville 9-5 and honestly outplaying the Predators. 12 seconds now into the second period. It is Martinez off the box, 2 minutes for interference. Soderblom comes up with a save on Marchessault, and then Yossi picks up a penalty. 2 minutes for tripping. That's going to create a 4-on-4 scenario for 38 seconds, which is going to bleed into a Chicago power play where they will not generate a single shot on goal. The Preds PK would answer Chicago's PK and be very strong on the effort. 6:30 now in the second period. It's Bedard's 13th goal of the season. It's a turnover on the half wall and then a wrist shot from the slot and a sick release it was, tying the game up at 1 apiece, getting the Blackhawks on the board, and the Blackhawks are going to follow that up at 7:57 now of the second period with Martinez's second goal of the season. Loose play allows the Blackhawks to take the lead 2-1 right here. As a matter of fact, a tough bounce off of UC Saros and into the net makes it 2-1 now in favor of the Chicago Blackhawks. 9:10 of the second period. Soderblom coming with a save on Svechkov. 11:04. Soderblom comes up with a save on Barron. 12:47. Soderblom another save on Shea. And 14:45. UC Saros makes an appearance, coming up with a big save on Bedard before Soderblom goes back to work. 16:30. A save on McCarron. 17:37. A save on Stamkos. 18:43. A save on Forsberg. And then UC Saros clocks back in for one more stop on Jones at the 19:10 mark of the second period. We go to the intermission with the Predators gaining some momentum, but behind on the scoreboard 2-1. They are out shooting the Chicago Blackhawks now by 20-16. So the Predators with 15 shots on goal in the second period, but no goals. 101 now at the third period. Soderblom coming with a save on O'Reilly from the slot area. 2 minutes into the third period. Soderblom coming with a save on Sissons. 3:21. Soderblom a save on Yossi. 4:27. UC Saros comes up with a save on Teravainen. 6:16 of the third period. Soderblom coming with a save on O'Reilly. And 8:07. Another save on Yossi's one-timer. We flip over to the backside of the sheet and we pick the action back up at 10:58. Soderblom's coming up with yet another save on the captain, Roman Yossi. At 11:14 of the third period. It's UC Saros coming with a save on Nazar. End-to-end exchanges here over the previous 20 seconds of this third period. The most exciting part of the first three periods to this point. 13:47 of the third. Soderblom coming with a save on Heine Stroza at close range. 14:55. Another save on LaRue with the partial breakaway. Just not enough time or space there to really get the job done. 16:57 of the third period. It's Philip Forsberg with his 13th goal of the season. A heavy slap shot off of the rush ties the game up at 2 apiece, and Philip Forsberg got absolutely all of this one. 17:23 of the third. Soderblom comes up with a save on McCarron. 19:46 of the third. Soderblom comes up one more save on Shea with the end of regulation with the Nashville Predators out shooting the Chicago Blackhawks 35-23, but securing a point by coming back with 3 minutes to go and tying this game. We hit the 3-on-3 overtime session at Bridgestone Arena, and 39 seconds in, it's Soderblom coming up with a save on Marchessault. Then 54 seconds in, it's another save on Forsberg. 2:02 into the overtime, it's Soderblom with a save on Novak. 2:40, another save on O'Reilly. 4:24, Soderblom continues doing the work, coming up with a save on Yossi. The Predators dominate the overtime session, but do give up a really good scoring chance right here at 4:58 of the overtime session, where Saros has to come up with a save on Nazar. We hit the end of the overtime session with the Predators generating 6 shots on goal in the overtime session. Soderblom absolutely huge in this area of the game. We go to the shootout. Gus Nyquist first for the Predators. He goes with the slow approach, then suddenly speeds it up and releases it with an accurate wrist shot to make it 1-0 in the shootout. Teravainen would even the score up at 1 apiece in the shootout before O'Reilly would also use the slow approach from the opposite side. Another great accurate shot right here makes it 2-1 in favor of the Predators. Bedard would be stopped by Saros, and then Stamkos would just rip the puck off the bar and into the net. 3-1 in the shootout in favor of the Nashville Predators. That means they win this game now 3-2. That is the final in the shootout. The shots on goal for the game, Nashville 35 and the Chicago Blackhawks 23 in this game. Impressive effort by the Predators to come back with 3 minutes to go in the third period and secure themselves a victory in the shootout. Listen, it was not looking real good for about 35 minutes of this game, and the Predators really started to pick up some momentum at the end of the second period. Took them a little while in the third to get back to that, but then they did, and there was an onslaught of shots in the second and third. They tied it up. Overtime, the Predators were dominant. Don't know how they didn't put that one away in the overtime frame, but they did put it away in the shootout. 3 conversions on 3 opportunities, while Saros stopped 1. And that was all that was necessary for the Predators. Stopping Bedard was all the Preds needed to get done in the shootout to secure the extra point. So the Predators pick up the victory on home ice. It's a winning streak again, 2 games in a row. The Predators pick up their 10th win on home ice this season, their 15th win of the regular season. And hey, they put a little bit of distance between themselves and the team behind them, at least picking up 1 point in the standings above the Chicago Blackhawks. That's going to do it for the preview. That's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We've got so much more coming up when it comes to analysis, box score, and more right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in. That was the Brewer Sports full game recap. Now let's do some analysis. Let's talk about UC Saros for just a second here. 24 out of 26 in this game. You know what? A bad turnover led to the first goal, and then bad luck led to the second goal. The Predators struggling for a while, but UC Saros was strong overall, kept his team in this game, and came up huge when necessary on his 2 saves in overtime, and then in the shootout made the stop on Bedard, which allowed the Nashville Predators to secure the victory on Stamkos' goal. So UC Saros thought that he was good enough in this game. He gets his 10th victory of the season for the Nashville Predators. Steven Stamkos picks up a goal in this game. It's his 15th of the season. That is now the team lead, and another insane sharp angle one-timer off the blocker and in. Great job by the TV crew getting a perfect look at that on every one of those close-up angles. So Steven Stamkos contributing on the offense yet again, just a dynamic force out there on the rink. 21-21 in total time on ice as well, and 403 on the power play. Let's go with Philip Forsberg first. Philip Forsberg picks up a goal in this game. It's his 4th game in a row, his 13th overall, also his 300th career goal. 7 shots on goal, 6 hit. Philip Forsberg is emerging from that goal slumber that he was in 4 games in a row, and that shot was absolutely magnificent. Just a rip bar down off of the rush, full speed, full windup, full no half stepping on that play right there to tie the game. The Preds were 3 minutes from disaster right there, and Philip Forsberg got him back in his 4th game in a row with a goal. And again, congratulations on the milestone goal, and it comes in a huge way, tying the game up and getting the Predators into overtime and continuing their current home win streak. Marchessault is at 1 assist in this game, 3 shots on goal, 22-56 in total time on ice. He's an influence out there. Every time he goes on the ice, he's the total hockey experience. He skates, he passes, he shoots, he goes hard to the corners, he goes to the front of the net, he defends, he blocks shots, he fights, he does whatever's necessary to do to help get his team a victory. And last night, Jonathan Marchessault out there, another big part of this team, turning things around and getting in the right direction. 22-56 in total time on ice and 3 shots on goal to add to his assists. Let's talk about the captain, Roman Josi. For a second, picks up an assist in this game, 3 shots on goal, 31-25 in total time on ice. You heard it right. Yes, it was an overtime game, but 31-25 in total time on ice. You can tell the Preds were behind. You can tell the Preds were leaning on Josi, and you can tell they needed him to help get it done, and they did. As a matter of fact, Josi would go on last night to eclipse the number of miles skated this season by any other skater. Nearly 5 miles in total skated. The NHL has put that out all over their social media today, that Roman Josi now has skated the most by distance this season in a single game. Nearly 5 miles skated in his 31-25 of total time on ice in this game, helping lead his team to a victory. And of course, being a force out there. Anytime the Nashville Predators have that type of dominant offense in an overtime session, you know that Roman Josi is going to be a huge part of that. Let's talk about that overtime and that shootout. Aggressive, dominant. Those are 2 things that the Nashville Predators just need to be more often. They pussy-footed around in this game against the Blackhawks for nearly 2 periods before really starting to bring some aggressiveness. And by overtime, they looked like they wanted it. That was a Predators team that wanted to win a hockey game, and I want to see so much more of that. But stop the pussy-footing around and get out there and be more aggressive and dominant like you did in this overtime session for 6 total shots on goal. Yeah, Soderblom stopped all 6 of them, but you keep putting that type of pressure on goaltenders night in, night out, shift in, shift out, you're going to win a hell of a lot more games and put in a lot more pucks than goalies are going to be able to handle. So for the Predators, aggressive and dominant in OT, 6 shots on goal, 3 conversions in the shootout by Nyquist, O'Reilly, and Stamkos, winning the shootout by a 3-1. The Predators in the shootout this season are absolutely incredible. I think only one hot shot has not gone in on the shootout. O'Reilly 4 for 4 on the season. Outstanding job there in overtime and in the shootout by the Predators to secure the extra point and get the victory. And I'm glad we're talking about it, because this was 3 minutes from being a serious disaster after the huge win against the Vegas Golden Knights. If the Predators had fallen in this one, it would have just been an absolute bubble burster, and the Predators now have a chance with 2 home games left on this homestand to go potentially 4 out of 5. But right now, focus on winning that 3rd game against Minnesota, and then you host the San Jose Sharks to end the home stand. All right, listen, that's going to do it for the analysis portion of things. Let's hear from our good friends at Stripe Digital Solutions. We'll come back. We'll get through the good, cold, hard numbers known as the box score, and we're going to go back and take a look as we approach 1,000 episodes. We're taking a look back, some historical moments in show history, and we're going to go back to Home Base Freakout 1. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to do that after the good, cold, hard numbers known as the box score, next on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
Welcome back in. Your goal scorers for the Nashville Predators, Philip Forsberg and Steven Stamkos in regulation. Then, of course, in the shootout, but none of these goals count towards statistics. Nyquist, O'Reilly, and Stamkos all convert on the shootout. When it comes to assists in this game, Jonathan Marchessault picks up 1 assist. Nick Blankenberg picks up an assist, and Roman Josi also picks up another assist. Shots on goal leader Philip Forsberg with 7, also converted 1 of those 7 shots. 4 for Ryan O'Reilly, 3 for Marchessault, 3 for Roman Josi, and 3 for Brady Shea as well. When it comes to block shots, 4 jumps off the page at you by Brady Shea, no more than 2 by any other Nashville Predators. And the physical component of things, in the hits category, the Predators running the numbers up here. Philip Forsberg tied for the team lead with 6, also Luke Schenn with 6, and then you'll find Brady Shea with 5, and Michael McCarron with 4. Sissons throws in 3, Nyquist throws in 3. The Predators throwing the body around for a total of 35 hits in this game. When it comes to your time on ice, leaders in overtime game always skews it a little bit, but this is a lot of numbers for the Predators. As you could tell, they were trying to come back in the third period. 22-56 for Jonathan Marchessault, 22-31 for Ryan O'Reilly, 21-21 for Steven Stamkos. They got the job done, though. They come back. They force the overtime session. They get to victory in the shootout. 31-25 for Roman Josi. Leads the Predators in total time on ice, 20-23 by Justin Barron. Everybody else on the defense under 20 minutes. When it comes to the special teams, the Preds power play, 1 for 4 in this game. Power play time on ice leaders go to 413 for Phil Forsberg, 409 for Jonathan Marchessault, 403 for Steven Stamkos, 414 for the captain, Roman Josi. The PK, abbreviated, only had to do a light amount of work, but they got the job done, going 1 out of 1. 32 seconds for Sissons, 31 seconds for LaRue, 41 seconds for Schenn, Shea, and Stastny out there on the penalty kill. So the Predators able to handle their business when it comes to the penalty kill. In net, it was UC Saros, pretty good in this one, 24-26, 2 goals against, a 9.23 in game save percentage, 22 even strength saves, no power play saves, but a huge short-handed stop on a breakaway, one of his 2 short-handed saves in this game. A couple other numbers falling out of the box score. Again, the power play for the Predators, 1 for 4 in this game. The penalty kill, perfect 1 of 1. Face-off winning percentage for the Predators, 62.9% in the positive direction is fantastic. 35 hits is a nice number. 13 block shots is a little bit low. 3 takeaways, 9 giveaways. Not nearly as aggressive on the puck the first 35, 37 minutes of this game as the Predators could have been, should have been. And if they would have lost, they would have been saying a whole lot about the underperformance of the first 2 periods in this game. But the Preds find a way to get it done, and they get the victory on home ice in the shootout. Pretty exciting way to wrap that thing up. That's going to do it for the box score. Want to go back and take a look at a moment in show history right here. As you know, we've had some stellar live events over the years. We took you back recently to Brain Dead Brewery in Deep Ellum, Texas for the night before the Winter Classic when we hosted Behind Enemy Lines with Eric Young, Chris Mason, Hal Gill, Lindsey Rowley, Kara Hammer, and so much more. Well, Home Base Freakout was our first live show back here on our home turf. It was the night before the Winter Classic here in Nashville, and everyone from the hockey community was in town, so we decided to throw the biggest party of all. We brought a whole lot of people out, a whole lot of special guests. Let's take you back to the recap of Home Base Freakout from the show right here that happened immediately afterwards. So here we are talking Home Base Freakout 1. We'll be back to close out the show.
Let me first go and take you back to the Home Base Freakout. The last time we talked, we were on the eve of the Home Base Freakout. Now we are a couple of days clear of it, and I want to tell you all about the incredible night that was the Home Base Freakout. We promised it would be a night to bring the entire hockey community together with special guests, giveaways, and even have a few beers together, a laid-back atmosphere where everybody just got to relax and enjoy the hockey community, and that's exactly what happened. Tailgate Brewery was absolutely incredible. They had everything set up and prepared, and as a matter of fact, it was early on Friday afternoon when I got the message and I got the call that I needed to get down on location, because although the event was starting at 7 o'clock, by 3 o'clock, the bar was already packed. Thank you so much, Renegades from Nashville, Renegades from Tampa, and Renegades from all around the world. Had a chance to meet and talk to so many of you great people. I got there at 3 o'clock and I cracked that first beer, the Renegades of Puck beer that you see right here in the bunker. And you'll see a whole stack of them over here, and we'll continue working our way through those as the season moves along. So stick tap to Tailgate Brewery for having everything set, having the beer in the cans on tap, cold, ready to go, and being ready to serve all of the Renegades of Puck and all of our friends in the most incredible way. Your staff was awesome. Shortly after that, it was Eric Young and the Ultimate Predator arriving on the scene for the home base freakout, and you could tell already it was going to be a great day. There were smiles all over the place. The Renegades of past and present showed up, and we had enough time to spend a little bit of a reunion, take a group photo, and have some good fun talking amongst ourselves. From the Renegades of Puck that started with me at the beginning all the way to the Renegades of Puck that are serving in the trenches with me today. That was such great fun getting some time to spend with not only the Renegades of Puck, but with the Renegades of Puck families and everyone that they brought with them. Great job, you guys. It was so awesome to see each and every one of you. Jack Porco from the Mighty Drunks was even there. One of the greatest scorers in Recreation League hockey here in Middle Tennessee. So many championships and Stanley Kegs. I don't know if he can even remember all of them at this point, but the Mighty Drunks also in attendance as well. John Bellucci, Brandon Adams, Trevor Patterson, Kevin Stokel, and so many others. Incredible. All great hockey players, all great people on top of that, and they were there in the house with us for the home base freakout. And our special guests, I mean, you got to talk about them. It was so awesome. Got a chance to talk a little bit about New Jersey, where I am from and where Bobby Ryan is from. We spent about 10 minutes over there off to the side, just having a good time and talking about those days and living back in the Garden State. Also, Allie Lacombe, stick taps, love and respect to you, Allie. It was incredible having you out there at the event. You talked to me and told me a little bit about how to win a face-off a little bit better. And in the past, you've also proven to me that I can do the impossible. So having you at the event sure did mean a lot to the Renegades of Puck. Lindsay Rowley came in, did a run-in. We hung around and we talked for a few minutes. We took a quick picture. I got her to autograph the event poster. Home base freakout was really electric. So many people having such a good time. Here's Jonathan Schaefer, my longtime partner in the trenches with the Renegades. Puck goes all the way back to the very beginning. The first troublemaker on the show was Jonathan Schaefer. There is no doubt about that. And Hall of Fame sports writer Teresa Walker was absolutely having the best time representing in her Renegades of Puck jersey. It was so cool to have her out there. Chris Mason then arrived like a rock star, and the house was absolutely electrified. Had a chance to hang out with Mason, talk with him for a few minutes. We talked about the Renegades of Puck. We talked about the no half step and movement, the power of positivity, and we shared a couple of stories real quick, just having a good time, having some fun, and sharing a Renegades of Puck beer right there at Tailgate Brewery. Of course, Hal Gill came in just after that, and the Bag Shuckers were right there, and they were hanging out, having a good time, meeting and greeting with all of the different Renegades of Puck. Speaking of the rest of the Renegades of Puck, just take a look around the room and some of the photos that I'm showing you right here. The place was absolutely packed. The first floor, the second floor, the overflow patio outside, even as cold as it was, we even had plenty of people outside. Just take a look at all the smiles, take a look at all those Renegades of Puck jerseys, take a look at all those Renegades of Puck beers, and look at how great a job Tailgate Brewery is doing. It was absolutely an incredible and fun night. Stu Grimson got up on the stage and he was electrifying. He brought the house down with a collection of F-bombs and promises that this hockey community will never forget. We also then saw a brand new faction emerge on stage as Chris Mason and Hal Gill, the Back Chuckers, called for me, the captain of the Renegades of Puck, to join them on the stage. It was at that point that Chris Mason made a speech that I will never forget. He then awarded me with the jacket that you see me wearing right here in the bunker and that you can see on stage in the gift that's playing in the corner of the screen right now. Mace, I'll never be able to thank you enough for that gesture. I'll never be able to thank the Bag Chuckers enough for that gesture. But damn it, man, that was one hell of a no half-stepping moment. It might have even been the absolute essence of no half-stepping. Stick Taps, love and respect to you, to Hal, the bag chuckers, and everyone who was involved with surprising me with this leather jacket. This new faction, I'm telling you right now, they're not effing around. As you can see on stage right here, I made a speech, I brought the house down, and I told the Renegades exactly how I feel about them. It was great to have so many people in attendance, so many different media organizations represented, from print to radio to television to the web and beyond. Social influencers, it didn't matter. They came from each and every level to join us for the home base freakout and to support and celebrate the Renegades of Puck. It was an incredible showcase of just what it is that we can do as an organization that is a force for positivity in the hockey community. This is just another step in the continuing build that I have for the visions for the Renegades of Puck. So I am very much looking forward to things like this happening again in the future, creating more moments like this and making them bigger and grander each and every time. When the weekend wraps up, you have Pekka Rinne Jersey Retirement Night, you have the Home Base Freakout, you have the Stadium Series, the Renegades of Puck, right there on par with all of those events, throwing an event that brought the entire hockey community together. I don't even have time to mention or thank every person that was there. Didn't even mention yet Joe Rexroad and Chase McCabe from 102.5 The Game. Greg Wyszynski, of course, from ESPN, the Puck Daddy. Haley Murphy from Couch Guy Sports. Haley is just incredible. Finally had a chance to meet her. And, of course, Stephen Wino from the AP, just fresh off of covering the Olympics. He comes to our event and hangs out. It was such an incredible time. Again, I don't even have a chance to... I didn't even mention AJ Malesko was at our event. U.S. Olympic hero A.J. Malesko was at the Home Base Freakout, just hanging out and having a beer with the crew. What an incredible night. I'm going to be remembering little pieces of this for many months to come. We'll get the documentary, we'll get the full footage, we'll get all of that out soon. But there is one more thing I want to share before we finish talking about the Home Base Freakout, and it is the aftermath. Here I am, back in the bunker, safe and secure after walking bright in the sunlight with each and every one of you Renegades, Puck, spending an entire night glad-handing and working the room like a human tornado. And you can tell the look on my face is that of a captain that has done his job. It was incredible to be out there promoting the event and to be part of the event, hosting the event, and everything that happened. But believe me, Renegades, it is simply one step in a very large staircase, ladder, or whatever climbing device it is you choose to visualize in your mind. It is simply the next step in our organizational and our movement forward. You will see us again, Renegades of Puck. You will see us again, Nashville. You will see us again, hockey community. This was special. This was incredible. I am so appreciative, and I feel a lot of love. I'm going to stop, pause, and think and contemplate about everything that happened this weekend for the coming days and figure out exactly what happens next. As far as a showcase for me, the Renegades of Puck, and the potential for my career moving forward, well, we'll see what happens. But I do know that the industry's eyes were opened very wide to exactly what the Renegades of Puck can do, going from not existing 5 months ago to drawing almost 2,000 people to their live event and party called the Home Base Freakout.
Just one of many legendary moments in Renegades of Puck history. Home Base Freakout will always go down as a special, special moment. Stu Grimson in the house, Chris Mason, Hal Gill, so many other special guests, great guests. Bobby Ryan was there with us. We had Olympians. We had players from the WNHL. We had players from the NHL. We had college players. We had local rec players. We had the whole hockey community coming together for Home Base Freakout. It was so fantastic. Thank you so much. If you came out and you attended that particular live event, or if you've ever attended a live event for the Renegades of Puck, Stick Taps, love, and respect. We sure do appreciate it. All right, let's close it out by saying the Preds were 3 minutes from disaster on this homestand, but they found a way. Philip Forsberg got the goal. The Predators found a way in overtime in the shootout to secure the extra point, and the win streak at home continues now 2, and they have 2 more home games on this homestand to try to continue riding the ship now. 15 wins on the season, 10 wins on home ice. The Predators can secure the next 2 victories on home ice. They'll be over 40 points and they would be starting to pressure the 6th-place Utah Hockey Club. Small gains, small steps. It's what the Predators have to do consistently if they want to turn this season around and start building towards something bigger for next season and beyond. That's going to do it for Operation number 955. Sure to appreciate each and every one of you for checking out the show. Appreciate the great comments and great feedback on Zach McCann's appearance, so much so that we're going to do that on a more regular basis. So again, appreciate you guys out there in the audience for supporting what we're trying to do here, and I hope you're going to support the next project because it's going to be something even bigger. It's going to be different than this. It's still going to be in the hockey world, but you're going to like it. I think you're really going to like it. That's going to do it for the show. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Appreciate just about everything out there. So let's sign off right there. Stick taps, love, and respect. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier.